such a throwback. I would play this if they actually release a X-Men 97 game. I'm playing it. Know that. Welcome to the party, Roberto. About time. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to X-Men 97. We're now into episode 4, which is called Motendo, / Life Death. Alright, so the last episode, we found out the truth behind the two genes. We discovered that the gene that the team has been living with up until now is actually a clone that was created by Mr. Sinister because he had a grand plan of having her and Scott have a child, and the child he was going to take back along with the clone and use them for his own nefarious purposes. And through this, we see that the team attempted to try to take him down, but it was really hard because the new Pod Gene, who eventually called herself by a different name, she was quite the formidable enemy. It wasn't until the real Gene was able to get up and get some of her memories back that she was able to get the situation under control and bring Pod Gene back. And they managed to at least get Sinister out of the way for now and take little baby Nathan back. But unfortunately, Nathan had been exposed to some what would you even call it? Some biohazardous stuff. And he was sick. And there was no cure for what he was infected with, at least in today's world. So they sent the baby off with Bishop to go into the future where they might already have a cure, or at least be able to find a cure faster than they could back home. So then we see that Pod Jane decided to leave because she's like, you know what, or Jean, I should say, because she's like, I need to figure out who I am and, you know, what I want now that I have my life back. And now Jean and Scott are kind of left to pick up the pieces of their relationship and all these crazy things that have been happening. We ended the last episode as well with Storm being approached by a man named Forge saying that he would like to help her on her journey to getting her powers back. So, good episode, left us in a good place. We're going to jump into this one. Maybe we'll get to see some more about Storm. Maybe not, but either way, I know this episode's going to be great because so far, they've been hitting it out of the park. So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be notified of when I do these uploads, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And if you like this video, please do show it some love with some comments and likes. Your girl appreciates it a lot. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Never gets old. That's new. And that's new. I love that they keep changing the intro slightly every episode too. So like, even though I love watching it, it gives you a reason to. Smart. Big brain energy.
Aw, thanks, Rami. You're sweet. But our new boss beat you to the pot.
Oh, did he?
3 sugars.
Wow. Wow. Show it off.
We must be ready should Mr. Sinister resurface.
Surely
He's really not your problem.
deserves some jubilation on her 18th birthday.
I second the blue Rogaine ad.
Damn.
Daddy didn't get him a pony for his sweet 16th.
His daddy wasn't around.
Perished.
Yeah. I was like, you walked into that one, Morph.
But first, how do you want to celebrate the big 18th, huh?
Get drunk! Oh no, they can't do that in the States. Never mind. Where I grew up, you could drink at 18. Crazy that Americans have to wait till they're 21. Oh, letter.
The master of magnetism seen in a bar of childish make-believe. Just one day where I don't have to freak out about the professor or Jean and her clone.
Exactly.
Or Cyclops and his latest control issue. They aren't even here. The only people who hate video games are bad at video games.
I agree entirely. And they also have to realize that there's a whole plethora of different games. Motendo. Well done.
I'd rather me and Wayne find out I'm a mutant than be caught dead playing that.
Oh, the judgment. You don't knock it till you try it. Y'all don't realize the fancy games you got today. This was where they started, okay? Oh my God. I guess y'all are playing whether you want to or not. Is it bad that I kind of wish that my Nintendo did that for me? Because that would have been fun. Pull me into the world of Contra, please.
How long were we playing? I assume I won.
Y'all not noticing the walls glitching? I love that she's like, oh, did you need somewhere to land? Did you need help with that? Damn, not her saving him twice. I think he likes being the damsel, guys. Bro, you have powers. You can help out, man. I think yours would be do a little bit more damage than Jubilee's right now.
It would be a lot easier if you used your powers.
Hello?
Wait a second.
Is it me you're looking for?
Hello?
Okay, well, we're in the Matrix now, literally.
Hold up. Genosha? But like way back when, Genosha? What the heck?
Are they not noticing the glitching? Is it just us? Damn, y'all can't breathe, huh? Okay.
Do that.
Are they gonna respawn or what?
Her.
Ooh, like the mask.
Hot Topic stalker calling us earlier on the phone?
I love the references to a lot of things that people who didn't live in the real world or in the US would not understand. Rogaine, Hot Topic.
We're totally in a video game.
We're what?
There we go.
Attention to the young lady.
Ew.
Totally in a video game. Totally.
Not the Valley Girl accent.
Mojo here.
God.
Primetime psycho interdimensional alien TV producer.
Well, I mean, at least he's self-aware. We appreciate that.
Complicated death traps to entertain my slaves. Indentured audiences. Sorry.
Dentured audiences.
In a video
Oh
game,
God, this
you're
body.
So you're my gamer girl in a gamer world.
I'm down.
That's Mo for Mojo in every home. On every world, in every dimension.
No, that's okay. That sounds like world domination. Yeah.
Dominate the galaxies and the 18 to 45 age demographic.
And what if we refuse
I hope to tell you this, but the demographic is growing, sir. But anyhow,
If you die in the game, you die in real life.
But- that's exactly what happens.
Who's the boss? Magneto.
Who's the boss?
Worlds.
Ah!
Discord, Summer versus Gray.
No, my God, this is my childhood.
game on!
Whoever's voice acting this is doing a great job, by the way. This is such a throwback to my youth, guys. You don't understand. Like, this right here is straight up Nintendo OG. The different TV shows some of y'all made out of it around for actual different world and the People's Court and all that. Oh, man. This is such a throwback. I would play this if they actually release a X-Men 97 game. I'm playing it. Know that. That's quite the interesting molecular shifting that he can do with his body. No. No!
How did you get my health back?
That wasn't me.
It's the lady in the metal helmet.
This is what you get when you kill tech support.
For failing to kill the bot!
Such a cycle is so true, though. They always blame tech support. They always blame the hard workers in tech, fire them, and then realize that they can't make anything work once they're gone.
Should probably find a way out of here.
What's the rush? These levels are taking me back.
Damn, not this monster being right about her. But I mean, it is her birthday. Let her spend it the way she wants.
You gotta grow up. Otherwise, reality will smack you right in the face.
Speaking of smacking,
This talkie-talkie scene is taking forever. It's boss battle time, baby!
I am Magneto.
I like him in his new fit a bit better, to be honest, but I get it. For the nostalgia.
He's got a pattern of attack. Typical boss battle shenanigans. I just need to wait for it to cycle.
That is true. Okay, Jubilee, let him know what you got. Where'd he go?
No, this can't be happening.
Did I die?
Almost.
Tô nem aí. Pô, tô ferrado. Esse lugar é muito perigoso.
What he said.
Still, this young lady did take down old Magneto.
I mean, we got to take the pluses with the minuses, you know?
Lord of Magnetism.
Yeah, you waited till he respawned. You took way too long, y'all. We need to work on your superhero landing, Roberto. Seriously. Your booty.
Thank you among friends. And by friends, I mean you. I have
Zip it, DaCosta.
Oh.
Like I said, we
Not future, Jubilee.
Gonna hit pause here for a second. I got a few questions. Explain everything!
You ain't got time.
I'm the only one left. I've played these levels inside and out. Relived the glory days more than I care to count, but
And how are you feeling about that?
it's nice knowing how every stage ends. No surprises, no twists.
It's
It
true.
always stays the same.
But that's not the way it really works. Exactly.
But it has friends and family.
Exactly.
Love, loss, and heapings of hope. Life's a...
So, Magneto was right.
Every so often.
To police. Cheaters.
My God, sir. I think you need to level up that little seat you're in. You're falling out. Maybe take some notes, Jubilee, see what future you has picked up.
I can do that? That ain't the half of it. Just you wait.
Nice! Because one of the things that always frustrated me about Jubilee's character was I'm like, fireworks have not, they can't just be it. Fun to watch, but how useful in battle other than a distraction? Welcome to the party, Roberto! About time!
It ain't over till the fat despot sings.
Damn. I believe the word is plus-sized. Jubilees, join forces, let their powers combine. Not taking out your own game, that is embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? Jubilee does win. Okay, indentured audience, this is your time to run. Run away, quickly.
Roberto,
The real question is, would that really put you off video games? Because for me, probably not. Oh, okay then. Forgiven. Well, she's getting extra birthday presents. You better be careful, ma'am. End up with a present you didn't quite anticipate 9 months from now.
You're very kind.
Homemade
Well, a
biscuits.
friend of Charles Xavier is a friend of mine.
Are you a friend of Charles Xavier?
If you're needing a neat toaster or a thing that'll store your mutant powers,
Or a bowl of this delicious chili.
yep, or chili, then I'm your man.
Sounds handy. But also, I still don't trust it. I need to know more about you, sir. Trying to get you drunk.
I miss soaring. The wind in my hair, so powerful it's hard to breathe.
Can imagine.
Your mutant gifts have allowed you to fix yourself. What a blessing.
Wasn't anything to fix. Just adapted and got a little...
Exactly. Life changes doesn't mean you're broken. Which she does well to recognize. I mean, obviously her powers are a huge part of her life, but that they weren't her. Storm is still amazing with or without them. See, there's other ways to get wind through your hair. Not quite the same as flying, but... She's like, by the way, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. That's what I say. Are you looking where you're going?
The winds here never shift. They always blow east. Stuck like
How
the south.
interesting. I never thought about the fact that she recognized those things, but it makes sense.
The last power differential clicked in my head when we were out riding. Like I said, helps to get outside.
It does.
You ready?
Especially if you're stuck on a problem. But what if I'm claustrophobic?
Mistress of the elements, rise winds and move the desert sands.
Was that you? Yeah, I was like, that was a little too small. Aw,
Please,
this sucks.
winds. Can't be real.
Aw.
I know, Aurora.
And what sucks is that, like, it's like she was just maybe beginning to accept it and then he's giving her hope and it's not working. That's kind of almost worse. But obviously it's coming from the right place. But you know what I mean? The acceptance part kind of happens when you think it's done.
Why is fixing me so important to you?
Good question.
The Defense Department offered to help me, as long as I help them build some devices.
Mm-hmm.
Neutralize dangerous mutants.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. You made these?
Yeah.
A scientist in Scotland did.
I mean, I helped.
I was hurting, lost, bitter. I gave up. If I told you the truth in Dallas, you wouldn't have let me help you.
So you lied.
I could live forever, and still my endless imagination would never conceive of a thing as perfect.
I mean, he is speaking facts here. You can continue with that.
You are a goddess.
That's right.
Powers be damned. How do you not see that?
That part's true.
I love you.
I mean,
You meant to make me a goddess. Instead, you have fashioned a fool.
oh, yeah, you had to know it was going to be that easy, sir. But everything he said was straight truth. And I mean, who wouldn't fall in love with Aurora? I mean, look at her. Look at her. Come on. But yeah, no, bro, you should have started with that. It does feel like she got had. Especially considering how down for the cause she's been. Wait, how did she fall in a house?
How did I return here?
That's okay. She said it always blows east. I knew there was a reason she dropped that line. Oh God, what is this now? The owl.
Get out of my home, you damn demon!
Damn. Okay, well, bye.
You live. Disappointed.
What are you and why do your legs look like that?
I feast on misery, and I shall not waste my meal.
Oh, ew, no, I'm not your meal, sir. That's not me. That's not the way I go. And you end it. I hate you. For real, that's it? The way this show has 10 minutes of credits, it's so confusing. All right, guys. Well, that was a cool episode. We kind of got like a split episode with two separate storylines. The first one was revolving around Jubilee, who is now 18. Welcome to your adulthood, ma'am. And basically her wanting to have some fun because it's her birthday. And Magneto's not on that tip. He's like, nah, like we should be training. We need to be prepared. Look at all the things we had to deal with since I got here. Like we need to work. And the teams kind of split on it. They would prefer to kind of allow Jubilee to have her day. And Jubilee tries to get Magneto to do some fun stuff with her. And he's like, yeah, no, I don't do that. Not in this outfit, not with his hair. And so she ends up deciding to go and play some video games with her new boyfriend, Roberto. And in this game, it's basically like, I just looked at that as a huge throwback to my childhood. I mean, this is definitely for the millennials, Gen Xers out there, because listen, some of this stuff I know, unfortunately, Gen Z probably either heard about or has not seen. But you know, the way the 16-bit video games used to work, I did not own a Nintendo, but a really good friend of mine did, and I remember playing that at their house every day in the summertime because that's when I could go over all the time. Loved it. The references made in this show are things very much that were popular during that time. If you were growing up during that time, and the target audience of a lot of that stuff, which I know I was a child, so a lot of that stuff around games and toys, that was directed towards us. But anyway, we see that they end up in this video game, and Roberto is really not down for it because he just doesn't really understand why Jubilee's so psyched about staying in this weird situation where we find out that if they die in the game, they die in real life, that they're trapped there indefinitely. And Jubilee's just like, this is fun for me. Like this, I get to do things my way. I got my life on my time. And also I like being young. I want to have fun all the time. I don't want to deal with how much the world sucks. And if I remember, it's been a long time since I looked at, again, most of the stuff I know about Jubilee is based on the trading cards I had back in the day, but I do think she was an orphan. No, I know she had some type of a fairly tragic backstory before she was taken in. But anyways, I think with her background, coupled with the fact that she's also just an 18-year-old, she just doesn't want to think about how hard and how difficult life is, right? And we hear her say that to Roberto halfway through the game when he's like, okay, we've played a few levels, let's try to get out of here. And she's like, why? Like, this is simple, this is fun, this is something that makes me relive happy times. Why would I not want to stay here? And then we see that another version of her in the game is there that helped her out, actually helped her and Roberto out. And they have that really good conversation where she's like, yeah, I get why you want this. I get how the escapism is tempting. However, real life is more, it's more than just the good times. It's a mixture of everything, but it's worth it. Like she said, you got friends, family, love, relationships, all these beautiful things you can't get when you live in a fantasy world where you're trapped doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I mean, there is comfort in that from time to time, but you can't stay here, was basically the model of the story, or the moral of the story, I should say. So after they have their little conversation, and again, we kind of had a little bit of touching on Roberto saying that he's still not quite ready to let his family know about his mutant abilities. Like they're dropping little pieces of his storyline since episode 1. They're dropping little tidbits as to kind of where his fears are coming from, how hard he went to deny what he is or to try to paint mutants in a certain light in order to fit in. But either way, I think, he actually did use his powers in the game here to help out and to not only defend himself, but defend Jubilee. So I think that he's getting to a place soon where he can start to accept more of who he is and maybe make that leap at some point to tell his family. But anyways, they ended up getting out of the game. And we see that her and Roberto share a little kissy kiss, a little birthday kiss there, which is sweet. And, basically she was like, I'm glad that you understand like why I was in here. And conversely, that you kind of forgive me for losing my mind a little bit, because even he got a little bit of insight into Jubilee there around. It's not that she takes things frivolously. It's more that she just doesn't want to deal with the heavy stuff all the time. And that's all of us, isn't it? So yeah, cute little vignette there. We got to learn a little bit more about Jubilee and her mindset, but we also got to get a little bit of Robert too, which I think was really, really cool, as well as seeing what a possibly aged up Jubilee would look like. She's still fun. We like that. The second half was Storm. She's been with Forge now. I don't know how long it's been, but I think it's been a minute. They're bonding while they're trying to figure out how to reverse what's going on with her. And we learned a bit more about Forge's powers. And yeah, it sounds like he's a bit of a tech genius, a visionary. I have to look him up. I have not looked up his story yet, but he said he's able to kind of see things and the way things work in a way that a lot of people can't. Something about his mutation allows him to do that. And he's been working with Storm. And also I really like that we see that Forge is missing an arm and a leg, look like two of his limbs. And she's asking him, when she asks him about it, he tells her that, it was when it happened to him before when he was a soldier. And then she's like, well, your powers allowed you to fix yourself, AKA, make yourself prosthetics that do what you need them to do. And he said, I didn't need to be fixed. I needed to adapt. And I think that's such a great bar, because we all know, I guess as an audience, that Storm's not going to be this way forever, but that's what life is all about. And I think it's a great message towards different, levels of ability. Just because somebody might be missing a limb or not able to walk or doesn't have one of their senses working, it doesn't mean that they're broken or need to be fixed. It just means that they are different. And if that's something that happens to you, I think it's definitely a challenge. Like if you were, you did have an arm and then you don't, or you could hear and then you lose it. Obviously that is a huge adjustment, but it is an adjustment. It is an adaptation, and your life doesn't have to be over or broken just because it's going to be different now. You can find ways to adapt your life to still enjoy many of the things maybe you had before, but maybe just not the same way. So I love how she talked about she loved how the wind would feel in her hair and in her, on her body when she would fly. And, now she doesn't feel that. And so he's like, well, there's other ways to feel wind in your hair and on your face. And he takes her on a horseback ride, right? So obviously not exactly the same, but she got a very similar experience and just got to understand that there's other ways to achieve some of the things that she likes than maybe the way she's always been used to. And that even if, God forbid, she didn't get her powers back, that didn't mean that her life was suddenly useless or worthless. It just means that she would have to make changes to adapt it and still find ways to get happy about it. So I really like that little messaging that they tucked in there. And then we see that the truth comes out about Forge and the fact that his technology led to eventually the gun that ended up taking out Storm's powers. And so she feels understandably lied to and tricked. And we see that Forge is, he's not happy about it. He's clearly ashamed of the fact that I don't want to say sold out, because I think that it's not fair to say that. Like, Storm was being a little unfair to him. Like, she did not know why or what his mindset was like when he decided to work for the government. He was in a low place. He had all these dreams, and it seemed like he was finding an outlet to get those dreams made into a reality. But there was this dark side effect, which he kind of knew was there, but I guess just turned a blind eye to at the time, never thinking that it could eventually evolve into what we see here, right? No way he would have thought that by helping them out all those years ago, it would turn into a weapon that would eventually hurt someone that he's fallen in love with, which dovetails into the fact that, yes, the feelings have been developing between the two of them. There's been a little something brewing beneath the whole working relationship. And we see that once Storm finds out, she's understandably upset, she's understandably hurt. And he basically tries to explain himself and then lets her know his feelings, but she's not about to hear it at that point, and I don't blame her. Like, she needs time to process this. And again, knowing Storm's history and what the X-Men fought for, it's understandable why this is a very painful blow for her. But anyhow, we see that she tries to escape, and she made a comment early in the episodes about the winds and how the wind never shifts. Like, she's like, everywhere I've ever been, the wind always shifts in different directions. Like, that's the way it works. But here it always goes one direction, which is weird. And at first I thought maybe it was just a throwaway thing, or maybe just a limitation of her not having her access to her abilities fully right now. But it may be because they were actually trapped in a dimension with whatever the heck that weird owl demon thing is. But apparently feeds on despair. So it's got Storm in there, and we ended the episode with her possibly getting eaten. So it'll be interesting to see what goes down. Obviously, I don't think that Storm's going to get eaten, but we saw Forge got bitten and what looks like poisoned. So maybe seeing that Forge is on a timer might pull out a little something in Storm to get her to fight for the first time without her powers and fight for a man that she clearly has feelings for. I don't know if she loves him, but I think it's safe to say that there's mutual feelings there. Otherwise, he wouldn't be professing love to her at this point. So yeah, it was a good episode. I kind of like that we got to cover 2 different storylines. And yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in the next one and eventually get my girl Storm back on her powers, because man, it was heartbreaking seeing her call out to her powers and not be able to reach them. But anyhow, we know it's going to be all right. Right? Anyhow, I enjoyed this episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.